So the video you're about to watch is going to be part 1 of a 4-part series. In part 1, which is this video, I'm going to be reviewing, giving my thoughts on the Moleskine classic hardcover journal. And then next week in part 2, I'm going to be talking about and looking at the Cashier's collection, kind of like the field notes equivalent of Moleskine books. And then the week after that, I'm going to be actually looking at the field notes notebooks themselves. And then a week after that, the final week of this series, we're going to be looking at all these different type of notebooks that I have stacked up against each other and see which one I deem overall the best. And if you're interested, you can join my Patreon for $3 a month and get each of these episodes a week early. So with all of that said, let's talk about the Moleskine. The Moleskine Classic Collection hardcover ruled notebook. Pocket notebook sized. It's 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches or 9 by 14 centimeters. Got 192 lined pages. And this one also says the history of Moleskine is included. That's pretty sweet. And there's also an expandable inner pocket. We'll see what that is in due time. So my number one question in this video is Moleskine worth the hype? Is this particular pocket notebook not only worth the hype, but worth the price? Okay, so here is the Moleskine Classic Collection ruled notebook. This one's got lines. I thought this one had dots, but I'm pretty sure they make them with dots. I'm not certain. The ones that they had at the Barnes & Noble that I went to, they just didn't have, at least that I saw, they didn't have these in the dot grid. Let's see. So we've got, oh, this is cool. So we peeled a little thingy off, and then let's see what we've got. This notebook has been to, oh, that's kind of cool. So it's kind of like, you can write down where you've taken your notebook. That's cool. I don't know if you're like supposed to keep this on the notebook or not. We'll see. I'm gonna leave it to the side for now. Automatically, I love that it's hardback. One of the things I've wanted to do in the past is take one of my notebooks, take one of my cheapos, and somehow make it into a hardcover, because they're not hardcover at the moment. But I would love to do that at some point. In case of loss, please return to blankety blankety blank as reward, $. That's cool. Immediately, there's not a header line. Like all the lines are the same length. All the lines are the same length or width, thickness. I don't know. So there's not really an adequate spot like in these notebooks where you have a big space at the top, but there are more pages. And also the page quality is a lot better, which is entirely super valuable. Especially, I know some of my subscribers use the fountain pens, which those require a thicker grade of paper / overall better quality paper. And then I want to look at this pocket back here. It's a little foldy outy. Oh, well that's cool. So it's like a little file folder you got back here. Let's see what's inside. I think this is the history of Moleskine. Culture, imagination, memory, travel, personal identity. I'm not going to read the whole thing right now on video because that would take forever and probably not be the most interesting thing in the world. I also really dig, first of all, there's the branding back here. It's like indented into the cover. I really like that. I also really like that there's this little holder strappy thing. I would love to come up with some sort of version of that for my notebooks that I can make custom. But again, with the covers being not hardcover, that might prove to be a challenge. And of course, in the middle, we've got the bookmark. That's a nice bookmark. Nothing we haven't seen before though. These particular books usually go for about $20. I got mine for like 17-ish because the Barnes & Noble I was buying it at, it was selling it for $16.95 or something. I've seen these at Target. They have them for about $19.98 or something. So I imagine it just varies based on where you're buying the thing. But either way, it's a nice looking notebook. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Moleskine book and, you know, instead of just talking about it cosmetically, we're going to go out into the field and I'm going to write in it. I'm going to write and we're going to come back and I'm going to show and kind of talk about how it feels to write in it, what my opinions are in the actual act of writing in this thing. So after about an hour-ish of having written in this thing, it's time for me to give my official having written in it thoughts. So after having written in the Moleskine journal, I came to several conclusions, and I also made a lot of observations. Made a list of pros and cons, and I just did some regular old-fashioned writing. Let's take a look at that, shall we? So like I said, I sat down and wrote in this book for about an hour. In case of loss, please return to Garrett. As a reward, nothing. I'm broke. I started doing a little bit of just random writing, random journaling. I wound up filling up about 4.5-ish pages, and here is sort of what I wrote. This is the first page of my new Moleskine book. The paper feels quite nice to write on, although not having a header line throws me off a bit. As I mentioned earlier, one of the things about my current notebook that I really like is it's like a proper composition book. It's got that header line. You can have your title or your header, and then you can just write your body underneath it. Whereas this, the Moleskine journal, it's all body. And then I continued journaling about how I don't really feel good right now. As you saw in one of those last clips, I'm wearing a hoodie because I've got some chills. But the show must go on. One of the things that I observed pretty early on is that this particular book is amazing for sitting at my desk and writing, or sitting on the couch, or sitting at the dining room table. Just sitting down at a surface, writing. It's also good for kind of just writing on my lap or whatever, because of the hard covers. It makes it a nice, solid surface to write on. However, it's not, based on my observation, based on my writing in the last little bit, it's not going to be very good for, at least in my use case, it's not going to be very good for like on the fly, needing it. I want to be able to just take my notebook right out of my pocket, whip it open, and write something. It feels more like a stationary book. Like it's meant to stay right here on the desk, and it's super nice. It's super pretty. It's super pristine in quality. It's nice. I don't want to like take it around, get it torn up, that kind of thing. And I think part of that has to do with the price tag, the $16 to $20 price tag. I mean, it's a little funky. I also really dig that the pages themselves, color-wise, are a bit warmer in tone. Because if you notice, this book, the ones I usually write in, this is kind of a bad example because the cover's blue, but they're all like this where the lines are blue and the paper is white, therefore that white pulls that blue color. And not only are the pages, pretty to look at, they're a little bit warmer, the lines aren't as aggressive, but the thickness or the grade or whatever you call that, the quality of the actual paper, not visual, but actual physical quality, so much better. Granted, these are cheap, and so the pages are as such. Regardless, they are, the sheets in this book are beautiful. They're very nice to write on. I'm using the Pilot G2 gel pen. This is my new go-to pen. When it comes to my pocket notebooks, I want it to be rugged, I want it to be durable, I want it to be reliable. And this is, I would say, almost all of those three categories. The difference between this Moleskine journal and my original pocket notebook is that, like I just showed you, I could throw that one on the floor and, I'm not worried about it. It cost me $1 for 3 of them. It was like 37 cents a piece. This, on the other hand, I feel a little bit less inclined to just throw it around because it's nicer, it's prettier, it's got better quality materials. It cost me like 10 times the price. No, I need to pull out the calculator for this one. Okay, so this book is approximately 50 times more expensive than one of these. And I grabbed one of these blank ones because, as you just saw, my other one is on the floor. But my point is, this one it feels like it's more of a delicacy item, more of a, I'm gonna baby this and take care of it. Not only was it more costly, but it feels more like a proper journal than it does my catch-all pocket notebook type book. It's not one that I'll carry in my pocket every single day, but it's definitely one that I love using. I thoroughly enjoy using this Moleskine journal. So while the ones that I use currently are technically not as sturdy as the Moleskine book, I find it to be a bit more rugged and even a bit more reliable because I'm able to carry it on me every day. But these are built for the trenches. These are built to get beat up, thrown around. That's why I laminate the covers. They're waterproof, technically. Those books, I can beat them up a little bit more. They're still good enough to write in. Whereas this one, I kind of worry because, it's hardcover, but that's also easily ruined. They don't have the bounce back that a paperback cover does. This journal is too pretty, too perfect for me to just carry it around every day. Now, with all of this in mind, another point sort of against the Moleskine is if I'm going to carry it around every day and write in it every day, it's not the most economical solution because it takes me about 1 month to fill up these little guys. These are a similar size, but it would probably take me about 2 months to fill one of these up. Say if I use one of these per month, that's 37 cents per month. If I use one of these per month, or even every 2 months, that's like $8 to $10 per month just on notebooks. So these are definitely, and these will always be the most cost effective. That's not saying they're the best by any means, but they are the cheapest. We have covered a lot of different things about this book in this video. I made an official list of pros and cons. So the pros and cons of the Moleskine journal are as follows. Pros are, it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous book, great to hold, great to look at. I mean, it's durable, good quality paper, good quality covers, the strap is quality, the bookmark is quality. I mean, everything about it's quality. It's a $20 notebook, of course it's quality. It's gotta be. The cons include, there's no header line. We've talked about this. It's too nice to carry on me every day. I don't want to tear it up because, again, it's super nice, kind of expensive, which leads me into the next con, which is it's expensive. I got this one for $16.95 before tax. It was listed as $20 Canadian. Because it's got this really nice, what I assume to be fake leather cover, it doesn't feel as customizable to me. And really, outside of those few cons, I'm struggling to find more. In all reality, it's a great book. It's a great little journal, great little notebook. A few final observations. Realistically, this Moleskine journal is objectively better quality than the notebook that I use currently. It is. It's just better. Simple as that. However, I'm not going to always want to have this thing on me. It's a little bit big to carry on me all the time. It kind of messes with the system that I've got going where I have my Zipmate, my pens, and my notebook all in the same pouch. It's my current pocket notebook setup is really compact, and if I threw this into the mix, it would kind of ruin that. So when it comes to the question of, is the Moleskine book worth it? Is it worth the money? I say no. And my reason being is you can get something of an equivalent quality for cheaper. Even if you really like the hardcover, the strap, the bookmark, the pages, the quality, whatever. If you like all those things, they have other options that are more affordable. So my 37-cent notebook is, to me, still the superior notebook to the $15, $16, $20 notebook. The Moleskine is great. I love it. Really, there's very, very few complaints, especially if you're just looking at it without comparing it to something else. I think it's a beautiful notebook. It's a great notebook. And I look forward to implementing it into my process somehow, some way. I don't know. But with that all said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for being here. Tune in next week for part 2 of this review series. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at the Cashier's collection of the Moleskine books. I'm looking forward to that one. Hope you are too. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.